Cavaliers, Mike London. Now, Mike, you're a no-drama kind of guy. You've had a fair amount of change since the end of last season. New coaching staff, quarterback shuffling. Has it been a tough period for you in what you're trying to accomplish at UVA?
Oh, well, there's no doubt that it's been transition and change, but got to give self-evaluative after every season, and to do that and move the program forward, made some changes, and feel lucky to have an opportunity to have hired, some very credible coaches out there in the college coaching world that have a measured amount of success. So with the change, with the staff, the schedule, it's affected recruiting, the facilities that have been built, at Virginia, the commitment that the university and the administration has made has really made this a very positive aspect in transition into another season.
Let's start with a name. Everyone in the ACC is very familiar with Tom O'Brien. You brought him in onto your staff. What is he doing for the team, and what has he meant for the team as well?
There's a measured amount of experience that Tom has had over the years. He brought me to Boston College with him when he went. He recruited my brother Paul to Virginia. He recruited the Tidewater area where I'm from, and so there's a respect there. There's an opportunity to listen to another coach who's been there, done that, so to speak. There's no ego. It's all about trying to move Virginia forward and help Virginia win. And I think that we're on the same page with that. So he's been a tremendous asset, as well as John Tenuta, the new defensive coordinator. Larry Lewis, the special teams coordinator, Steve Fairchild, the offensive coordinator. So it's a group of men that are very talented in their own right, that fuse well with the Anthony Poindexters, the Chip West of the current staff. So we're excited about where we are and about the progress and moving forward.
I had a question there. Okay, let's the other topic. I thought we did. Let's talk about the other thing I kind of brought up. the quarterbacks. Give me a sense of where you are now evaluating the quarterbacks you still have in your system.
Sure. There's two very capable and talented quarterbacks. One, David Walker, who went in the spring and came out of spring listed as number one. David played as a true freshman, and we redshirted him last year. And he had an opportunity to really kind of soak and look and see what the maturation process occurs for players that are in the system or with a program. He's become a phenomenal leader, great young man, great teammate. Grayson Lambert, the benefit of having been a mid-year for us, just went through his second spring practice, is another talented young man. And they will, they're battling for that position. But we will, early in August camp, be definitive on who the starter will be, because both of them have the type of talent and skill level to help this football team win. So it's this exciting part about having your team leaders or your teammates select two guys that they think are the model of what players should be on the field, off the field, in the classroom, in the community. Both those guys got high marks, high expectations put on them, and rightfully so.
How hard was it, and perhaps what did you learn from going through a quarterback situation last year where you were kind of going back and forth?
Well, you try to do what you need to do, or what you feel is important to do to get the best out of your team. The benefit of having three former head coaches on the offensive side of the ball, with Tom with the tight ends, Steve with the quarterbacks, and Larry Lewis with the running backs, is that we're all on the same page with the development of this scheme, this system, with having a quarterback, and defining that quarterback early, in camp. So that's the important part. Our players are behind it 100%. Everything we do is geared towards getting Virginia and having that opportunity for us to win and play in postseason games once again.
Coach Dan Tortora, DTB Media, with the additions of Syracuse, Pittsburgh, Notre Dame playing 5 games coming up, and then Louisville in the future, what do you think about the direction of the ACC and the talent that you'll be going up against?
When you look at the brand of the ACC as it's expanded, from Syracuse all the way down to Miami, and then with Pittsburgh, and then later on Louisville and Notre Dame, the brand of the ACC just continues to get better. I mean, it's already a conference that has had the highest GPA, graduation rate, APR rates. You'll be in millions and millions of homes from a network, aspect of it. So we recruit nationally. We want to take care of the home state, but we recruit nationally. and having a chance to go to those particular venues, those areas where we're already recruiting, just makes it, I think, even better for us. And we'll continue to expand our profile of the student athletes that will want to come down to a place like Virginia and Charlottesville and spend their college career and still go home every once in a while for their families can see them play.
Marty Hutball, NBC 29. Hi, Coach.
Good morning.
Talk about opening up the season with two very challenging opponents at BYU and Oregon.
I tell you, very challenging schedule. Obviously, the two teams that have done well, year in, year out. Bowl games, national rankings, players with the national caliber type of recognition. And obviously, we're looking for an opportunity to bring them into Charlottesville. Hopefully, have sold out venues for those particular games. 8 home games in Charlottesville. I think the most in recent memory, if not in the recent history of Virginia football. So there's a lot of excitement, along with, as I said before, I was asked by Jeff about the coaching staff, the scheduling, the facility that was built, the types of recruits that are interested in Virginia. So there's a lot of exciting things going on and being productive and having opportunities to play well, early on in the season will help all of that.
Lindsay Joy, WCAV in Charlottesville. Coach, coming off a 4-8 season, do you expect people to underestimate this team at all?
I would like to. Let them do whatever they do. I'm worried about what Virginia is doing and what we're going to do in the progress and how we're putting our team together. I feel pretty good about where we are. There's 6 seniors basically on our roster, and there's a process that's always involved in turning things completely around. I think I counted the other day, there's like 60 players that are freshmen, redshirt freshmen, sophomores. That's part of the process. It's part of the maturation of a football team. And I think with the new staff, and as I mentioned before, some of the other things we just talked about, that there's positive energy going on, on the Charlottesville campus, or Charlottesville grounds. And so, that's the best answer that I can give you, is that we're excited about where we are and where we're headed, even with the new coaches.
Alex Dodd, Dodd Sports Network, Greenville, South Carolina. And Coach, how are you looking to refresh this season after being ACC Coach of the Year and then going 4-8 and missing out on a bowl? How are you looking to forget that and move on this season?
Well, we talked about at the beginning, just being evaluative of yourself at the beginning of the end of the season, making the necessary changes, still believing and sticking with the plan. Things aren't changed and built overnight. It's a process that's involved with it. Have extreme confidence in the coaches that are hired and the players that are in the system, and everything else that we have going on right now. So, we're the heads to the grind. We know that this event right here culminates the season right around the corner, and our players are looking forward to that. They're actually quite excited about the opportunities that have been afforded to them. So, we're looking forward.
Hi, Coach. Bob Holly from Raleigh. You have a tradition of great offensive lines at Virginia. 4 of your 5 guys here are back. You also have some wide receivers back. But how important is the offensive line in this season, where you not only have the tough non-conference games, but also many games against an improving Coastal Division?
It's extremely important because you look at both sides. I've been a long time, defensive line coach. I've been a coordinator and a position coach, and you know that it's important for the guys up front, to make room or sack the quarterback. And when you have guys like Morgan Moses, who's a national candidate for a couple of awards, a returner like Luke Bowenko, who played center for us but now is playing guard, a guy like Jake Whitmire, who is a mountain of an individual, played tight end in high school. Now he's a right tackle, and he can do it all. You feel very fortunate. And you want to have those positions be anchored by, some of your strongest and your best players. So it's important for us to make sure that although injury has kind of taken us in that position, there's a young group of players, 5 recruited offensive linemen that are in the program right now that are going to get their first taste of college football. So there's guys that are in front playing, and there's guys that we got to bring along. And it's always important to develop, your players that are in the program as you move forward.
Mike Lemon, the head coach of the Virginia Cavaliers.